It's the People Station V103, the ATL's #1 for hip-hop, R&B, and throwbacks. Big Tigger Morning Show with Jazzy McBee.
That's right.
What's happening with you? Ladies and gentlemen, you have the honor and privilege to have a man you may know a lot about and you may not know a lot about, but we here to bring it to the light. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Harry O. Harris in the building. How are you, sir?
How you doing?
Speak to that, yeah.
Great being here this morning.
Good to see you, sir.
Yes,
It's my understanding you had an amazing event over the weekend here in Atlanta as part of the Our Community First. First things first, what is Our Community First?
Well, that's a good place to start.
Okay.
And I mean that in multiple ways. I just think that a lot of times people talk about what they want to do, but then they leave the community out. The community voice is silent. So we just believe that we wanted to create an organization that spoke directly to the community's needs.
Okay.
And not what somebody else say the community needs.
Got it.
And so I don't speak for the community. I go out into the community and ask the community, what do they really need? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, okay. I want to make sure. Okay, well,
we want to make sure the people hear what you're talking about.
Well, we want to make sure they hear what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
So we want to elevate the voice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but so Community First is a nonprofit.
Okay.
It's what it does is it created a O plan, and the O plan is about access. It's about an access agenda, and it's also about a redemption agenda. And the access agenda speaks about bringing capital to communities in various ways.
Okay.
And so that we know that without capital, you can't grow.
Right.
And so we just think that by connecting and engaging with business entrepreneurs around the country and government, that we can put that to the forefront. That we want to come in, we want to make sure our schools are better. We want to make sure they got real job and career opportunities. We want to even exercise these Pell Grants for immediate career opportunities, especially with this new technology. And then in terms of the redemption agenda, it's kind of like it's something that's in my DNA in terms of I was away for a long time,
right?
And 33 years to be exact. Right. And I saw a lot of things behind the wall that a lot of people don't get to see or may not even care about. But I think it's something that the community should care about, because when people go away for whatever reason they go away for, they're coming back. You want to make sure that they coming back equipped with skills to be able to function in society. And also on the outside, when they come home, what type of second chance jobs, opportunity do they have? So it's important to equip people that's away when you have a captive audience with the ability to learn skills. So all kind of programs that help people help themselves.
Okay.
And so that's what we're about.
All right.
All right. So why do you think that the community should actually trust in this O plan? Have you gotten any feedback from it, or?
Well, here's the thing about trust, you know, and I think that's a great point. I just think that we've been trusting in other people to speak on us and to do for us, and each and every time they fall short or not at all.
Hello.
So this is not really about. It's not about me. It's not about Community First. It's not about the O plan. It's about us. It's like, how do we start holding people accountable?
Right.
Why do you keep voting for people that's supposed to represent you and don't take your best interest to heart? That's what it is. So I don't want it to be about a me thing, because if it's just me, it's not going to work. It shouldn't be called Community First. So we doing concerts and different type of events just to get everybody to start connecting to each other and talking about what they have to offer.
Okay.
And so it's a collaborative effort. And basically a lot of people tell us, well, we vote, it doesn't matter. But at the same time, there's a system that we have in place that's supposed to be working for us. Are you just going to continue to let that happen? So if we don't do it now, then when? And so that's what this is about. This is about getting our voices out there, getting it elevated, pushing bold policies, and making sure that people institute those policies. And if they don't, then we don't vote for them no more.
Facts.
Whoever they are.
Co-founder Death Row Records, Michael Harry O. Harris is in the building. They're talking about voting and the old plan, in our community first. And you were famously incarcerated for 33 years and granted clemency by former President Trump. So I gotta ask you, if you vote, who you voting for this time around? 'Cause are you voting for the man that gave you clemency, or are you going a different way?
Well, let's just break that down.
Okay.
Because I know that's the number one question. but here's the answer to that. I thank the president, former president, for what he did for me and my family. Mm-hmm. And so that's what you do. If somebody does something for you, you show your appreciation. You say thank you. But community first is not about me. It's about the people. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I didn't come out here and say, hey, you should vote for this person, you should vote for this person. What I said is you should vote for the person that's supporting your initiatives. Mm-hmm. And so who we vote for at the box is our business.
Okay.
But I'm just going to be honest with you. When it comes to, I'm a loyal person. So, when somebody showed me love, I'm going to show them love.
Okay.
You understand? That's me personally. Okay. But I'm not telling anybody else who to vote for. They should vote their conscience. They should vote their wisdom. They should do their due diligence and figure out who's supporting me and my family and my community. That's how that should be.
Yeah,
so wait a minute, I'm sorry, but does that put you at conflict, sir? Given that you're loyal to people who do you right, and
well, I'm loyal to them for what they did for me, but I know how to not mix oranges and apples.
Okay,
you understand what I'm talking about? I've been doing this for a long time.
Right.
So and just to be clear and straight about it, you're never gonna like everything that somebody does, right? And so we need to get out of that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And we can't just trip on optics as well. We have to focus on policies. Who's going to be the best person or the best organization that represent what I believe needs to happen for every individual. That's what's not happening. A lot of people don't even vote no more. Right. And it's because they just like it's a waste of time. Right. But if that becomes the norm, then we just letting somebody else control our lives.
Man. Harry O's our guest this morning. I wouldn't go too far. When we come back, we're talking some recent history, some super ancient history. Yes. We're going to find out more about how this man came to be, who this man is. I wouldn't go too far. Harry O is in the building with the Big Tigger Morning Show with Jasmine McBee on the People Station V103. People Station V103, the ATL's number one for hip-hop, R&B, and throwbacks. Big Tigger Morning Show with Jasmine McBee. Michael Harry O. Harris is our guest this morning. He's in the building.
That's
Again,
right.
If you're unaware of the resume, co-founder of Death Row Records, but not many people know your story and involvement. How did Death Row come about and your involvement in Death Row?
Right.
Now that's some history.
Yeah, it is.
Listen.
Yeah, but make it short because I know you guys you're blessing me to be on your show. We don't have all day to go through that history, but I just give you the short of it. I was incarcerated about 1988.
Okay.
And so I was incarcerated about 3 years when I ran into Suge Knight, and we decided to create Death Row Records. But first I created Godfather Entertainment, which was the parent company of Death Row Records.
Okay.
And so at the time, Knight was managing Dr. Dre, DOC, and there was his main artist that he was managing. And so he came to me, we talked about how we could do something together. I was incarcerated at the time, and we formulated the company and brought Dr. Dre on as president and partner. Right. And the rest is history.
Yeah, now I was interested in, I was like, okay, you created Death Row Records behind bars, right?
Yes.
What was that like dealing with Suge behind bars? He's out, you're in. And then we kind of know the history of Suge Knight, right?
Yeah.
So how was that managing?
That's the movie right there. How did you navigate that situation?
How did you? No, seriously.
Or did you? No, but look, I was a different kind of guy before I went to prison. So, some things was unexpected to me, because I'm used to doing things the way I want to get things done.
Right.
And so I had a vision for the company. We all did. And So working with Suge was somewhat of a journey, if you know. But in the beginning, he was more respectful to the situation. You understand?
In the beginning.
Yeah, I just take money, just make you bigger, whatever you are, So sometimes when the money come in, people lose it. You understand? And
yes.
So trying to navigate that from behind the walls and keep the original vision in motion. So Death Row was an organic situation. It just, even the bad made it, sell records. But at the same time, at the end of the day, sometimes money ain't all what it's about. You know what I'm saying? It's like how many people got damaged from something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Death Row has a yin and yang history.
Right.
Okay.
Now I heard a rumor / story. There was a Row Hotline. And the phone rang. Somebody better answer this damn phone.
Well,
how true is that?
I heard about that too. Yeah, I heard about that. But all I know is that there was clear communication.
Okay, just as long as it was clear communication. Somebody better answer the phone.
Yeah, we was able to communicate on a regular.
Okay, now we know Suge Knight is behind bars now, of course.
Yeah.
So what is the relationship like with you and Suge now?
We kind of parted our ways over the years, yeah.
Did you part ways before you got out of prison, or
Yeah,
after?
we parted ways. We had a few issues back and forth.
Okay.
Challenges.
Yeah, a few challenges.
Okay.
And unfortunately, he went to prison for running over a friend of mine who.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Terry
okay.
Carter. Yeah,
Okay.
He was one of my first business partners. Yeah, him and my brother, we created a limousine service together. So it was kind of like, it was like one of the moments like, you're like, how could this happen, So it was unfortunate all around the table,
Okay.
Now you mentioned all these businesses you had. It's my understanding that you used to put on some plays too, that featured like Denzel Washington and things like that.
Yeah, well, we had, Denzel was, premier top. That's my guy. But we had Vanessa Williams. We had Richard Lawson. We had Ron O'Neal.
Man.
We had Ruby Dee, Paul Winfield. We was a platform that made sure that actors could work every chance we could help. And so we used to take the plays across the nation.
Okay.
And then ultimately took the play to Broadway called Checkmate.
Okay.
Yeah, it was written by a guy named Ron Milner.
Okay.
And we did it on 46 and Broadway with the Nederlanders. So that was a high point. And then I went to prison right when it was going on.
Because I was going to ask, did you manage all this behind prison? Because you running a whole enterprise behind bars. And I'm like, how?
Well, I was blessed to be running an enterprise before I went in.
Okay.
And it's just, that energy is still inside of you. So, so I think that energy moved over to Death Row.
Okay,
I just did, even though they said it was over, I didn't believe it. I wanted to make sure it kept going.
You still keep in touch with Denzel?
Oh, yeah, that's my guy. Yeah. On a regular, Denzel's about that God business, that's what he owns. So I love him,
Absolutely.
You said, Mike, if it ain't about God's business, it ain't no business for me, Yeah, we're working on some projects.
Okay. Row is here with the Big Chicken Morning Show with Jasmine McBee on B103. So, Snoop ends up getting the label back from other people who owned it.
Right.
Y'all are back in business and doing a bunch of things. October London came out and did his thing on Death Row. What does the future of Death Row look like?
Well, it's like reimagining something that was created years ago, and it has a historical life. But we said, what could it look like in the future for the new generation? And so one of the things that we implemented was Death Row Pictures. Okay. So we want to do with Death Row Pictures what we did with Death Row Records, but with more cautionary tales in a lot of the projects that we do. But the brand is still alive, and people want to do business with us, and we want to do business with people. And so also I brought Godfather Entertainment back out. Okay. So that was a parent company. So we do concerts, and we also do a Grammy every year. We do the night before the Grammys. We do a big party for It's called Global Affair.
Okay.
So we
Nice.
like to take artists from around the world and introduce them to the world, or give them their flowers.
Okay, so we'll be there next year. Yeah.
You
Facts.
better know
How
it.
about that? How about that invite? Now, do you still talk to Dre, Dr. Dre, and some of
that's
those
my
guys?
guy.
Is your guys good?
Yeah. I talked to him. I talked to Dre. You know, we worked together with Snoop,
Okay.
and Dre's. You know, like we're doing a movie. So he wants to do, he gonna lay out the soundtrack.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Now, since you've been out, have you had any fun? I know this is all about business,
People
but what do
always
you
ask
do
me
for
that.
fun? You know, you just
Business is fun for me.
okay.
Yeah. I mean, I smell the roses, but business is fun for me.
Okay.
You know, I just like to see things grow.
Okay,
Yeah.
good deal.
Ariel's our guest this morning. So, you've walked a very unique path in lots of different ways. And there's lots of people watching and listening that may have a similar path, but not yours, because yours is unique in lots of different ways. What is the one thing you think you could offer everyone listening that can uplift them or work to their betterment? Like that one jewel or that one nugget, like something to live by, something to work by, something to die for. What is that one thing that you've come across that means so much to you that you think could help everyone listening?
Good question. I think that for me, and if I was to give somebody some advice or a little bit of wisdom, it would be like always be in the present. Like the past is the past. The future gonna do what it do. But if you engage with the present, of course, the one and only in the present, you will be able to push through whatever you're going through. It's just that when you get caught up and start thinking about what you used to have or what life was, and you don't take advantage of this moment right now, is you lose the opportunity to have that future that you envision. So I just think it's important for us to always take advantage of the time we have
I love it.
and try to figure out whatever we can to do to enhance that, whether it be reading a book or doing some research or connecting with people and turning them connections into contracts.
I know that's right.
You know what I'm talking about? Turning them connections into contracts. So,
That part.
yeah, it's just like, just believe in yourself.
Okay.
And I know a lot of people put up blockers, and it's a lot of times people that we think that would be more open to us live in a box. And so we just can't let that be the reason why we don't become who we were born to be.
Love it.
You know, don't blame other people for what you can't do.
Words of
Amen.
wisdom right there. I love it.
Ariel's in the
Yeah.
building, ladies and gentlemen. How do people find out more about our Community First and get involved?
Well, we can go to communityfirstaction.org or at Community First Action.
Okay.
And you can also go to the original official Harriet.
Official Harriel.
Harriel. Okay.
And follow and keep
Follow
up.
everything right
Yeah,
there.
because we want to keep everybody informed, and we appreciate all your support. Like
Absolutely.
I said, like whatever we could do. Like we've been here in Atlanta. We went to a place the other day called Paul's Kids.
Okay.
And I don't know if you're familiar with it, but this young lady, she's doing, Latanya, doing great things. A lot of these kids don't have parents or don't have, the proper situation. And her foundation, her organization makes sure that they eat every day. They do. We be looking for organizations like that
Right.
that we can help support in all the communities that we go to.
Nice.
Because it starts now, not when somebody get elected. What can you do? What resources can you help bring to help people uplift the community?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So in terms of trust, you trust what people do, not what they say.
Amen.
That part.
Thanks.
What was your perspective, and what was it like when this whole East Coast, West Coast thing was going on from where you sat?
But is we running now? Or we,
No, was this the law here? I just forgot to ask earlier.
Okay.
We're going to edit it back in.
okay, great. Yeah, let's just keep it real. Like even though I was inside, I was informed. I was connected, and I think that it got blew out of proportion. I just think it was more about a personal vendetta than it was about a whole coast having a disagreement, and I think it was economical. So what I mean by that is that I feel that Suge felt that he had an opportunity to sign Puffy, but he overlooked it because he was trying to manage Jodeci and Mary J. Blige.
Right.
And Puffy helped him do that. And so he felt like he should have, when Puffy was starting to blow up, like, how did I let that get away?
Right.
And so it was kind of like a jealousy thing.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of say, okay, I let that get away, okay, cool, big up to you. He got caught up. And so he made it an issue, but he made it an issue at a time where the West Coast was economically doing better than the East Coast, and the East Coast is the one that had created it. And just being real, it came from the East Coast. And so what that feud did was empowered artists from the East Coast to step up. And then they took their rightful place back into the game. But it was the West Coast was able to figure out a way to make money off of hip hop, good, bad, or indifference. A lot of people, when hip hop first started, it was more about pride and more about respect, and the big boys didn't want to support that. And I think when the street stories started coming in, and they in the West Coast figured out a way to make it go even without them, is when they got their attention, because they don't want us moving without them getting a piece, right? So I mean, I can get deep into it, but it was more like, to me, it was like we all one community. So I don't think we ever had an issue with each other. We got family all over the map. So I just think certain individuals helped fan the fire. But we always had love for each other. I got to talk to Warren G, and they was producing artists. DJ Pooh was producing artists on the East Coast.
Right.
Warren G album blew up on Def Jam. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Helped blow Def Jam back up. So I just think that when people really dig deep, they realize that it wasn't what everybody thought it was.
Right.
It was what people wanted people to think it was.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We was family.
That's deep.
We still family.
That was deep.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, big shout out to the bank.
The bank's in the building.
Yeah, Big
When's the
Will.
next event? What's the next concert in what city?
We trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
We might go to Pittsburgh, but we just we opening it up for people that it's open for us to come to their city.
Okay, good.
And we always looking for local artists that are big in those cities.
Okay.
To make sure that we respect the cities that we pull up in.
Love it.
Harry O's
That
our
part.
guest, ladies and gentlemen. Please check out our community first. Do your part. I done told you get registered. I done told you get educated. And I done told you bring you and somebody else to the polls. You hear me? Please use your voice and your power. And we'll be back with more Big Tigger Morning Show with Jazzy McBee right after this on V103.